Hello. Hello, Awake TV family. Hello, Soul family, everybody who's coming in and watching this live or watching in the future. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Chris Alicia. I am your host of Intentionality, a show that is all about finding the divine blueprint of the universe, to understanding why things happen the way that they do, why things were built the way that they were, and through that understanding, improve your quality of life in every way, shape, or form. Because once we realize how divine the world really is and how perfectly it was created, you can start to see your own perfection as well. You understand your place in this world and why you are the way that you are. So thank you so much for joining me. I have 1,000 thoughts on my mind right now, and anybody who's watched the show knows I often open the show by talking about some of the stuff that's going on. We've talked a lot about the coronavirus. And I want to say a couple things about what's going on, the unrest that's going on right now, the riots, the protests, the horrible, horrible action of the police officers in Minneapolis. We've come so far as a species. Humans have come so far in the time that we've spent on this planet. We have hurt each other in every way humanly possible. We settle things with as much violence as we could use. We believe that religion defines a person, and based on your religion, it's okay to hurt other people. We think that skin color defines people, that our gender defines people. All of these things that we've put in place to separate us from each other. It's time for that shit to end. We are all one. It's an expression that spiritual communities have used for a very long time. And what that expression means is that humans everywhere, every single human on this planet is connected to each other. Connected in a energy level. So our bodies, which are made up of energy, are physically connected to every other body that's made up of energy because we're created from the same source. And I'm not talking about what religion you have or anything else. That energy level that we have affects everyone else around us. So when you hurt one of us, you hurt all of us. That statement, we are one, needs to be internalized. When we hurt someone else, you're hurting yourself. When someone across the world is hurting and you don't pay attention to it because it's not in your sphere, it's still hurting you. It's still affecting you. Maybe in ways that you don't understand or you don't feel, but it is hurting you. So with the world, with the US, in this state that it is right now, we're hurting on a level that most of us don't recall in our lifetimes. There's so much anger and hatred that has permeated our country. Now, the cause of that, and there's many different causes of it. The most recent are obviously what happened in Minneapolis, what happens in Central Park with Amy Cooper, and even the coronavirus has had a lot to do with this. But these are catalysts. These are actions that set off anger that was already bubbling underneath. And it's because we don't talk enough. We don't have enough of the conversations that we need to have. We don't stand up for each other the way that we need to. Because if we all stand strong together and we say we are connected, and if you hurt one of us, you hurt all of us, no force in the world can stand against that. Now, my fear and what I've been seeing is that message of being unified, of equality, of empathy, of caring, of heart, of standing up and saying, you are no longer allowed to mistreat anyone. That message is being lost. Because people are turning around, the angry people, those who have been hurt, are turning around and hurting others, others who are not responsible for their pain in the first part, hurting their own communities. What is the end goal? What are we trying to accomplish? Are we trying to get to a place where we are all Americans, where we're all humans, where we're all people? Or are we trying to get to the place where if you hurt me, you're giving me permission to hurt 20 other people? This is a very, very important time in our world for 1,000 different reasons. How do you want to show up for this new world, for what it's going to look like? How do you want to look back on your role at this time and say, here's what I did. Here's how I stood up. Here's who I was. How do you want to show up? How do you want to show up for the people in your community? How do you want to show up to support the families that have been hurt by this? How do we stand up and show up as Americans? Because the days of duality, of us versus them, of labeling people, that's got to come to an end. We are so far beyond labels as a species. And if we stand up for each other as humans, we can make a genuine difference. But that standing up for each other is coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place where I say, we are all one. We are all connected. We cannot be divided in that. We are made from the exact same energy. And when you hurt one of us, you hurt all of us. And we are willing to stand up and protect each other. Now, standing up and protecting each other does not mean turning out and destroying innocent people. We have to be better than that. I heard Trevor Noah's YouTube video talking about, because of the horrible treatment that the Black community has received and continues to receive, that contract that we all sign as citizens to be a part of a society, that contract which says we will follow the laws, we will do what we need to do. Trevor Noah said that because of that mistreatment, because of centuries of cruelty, that the Black community is now saying they don't need to carry out that contract of civilization anymore. And that means the looting and the rioting and the beating of people on the streets and the burning of their community, that is okay because they've been mistreated. So they don't have to uphold the laws that have mistreated them. If you feel that way, I get it. I hear it. I understand the words, but we have to be better than that. We have to be connected as people. This is not us versus them. This is not the community versus the cops. This is bigger than that. This is humanity. We are all Americans. We have to stand up for each other and say that no matter what corruption is going on in the government, we are Americans and we stand up for each other. We don't go out of our way to hurt others because we're angry. We are better than that. Think of all of the times in history when the greatest changes have come about. The civil rights movement, the women's liberation movement, even all the stuff that happened after World War II when the Jewish community was finally able to get equality and better treatment. If you look through history and look at the actions that made the biggest changes, they were not riots. They were not going out there and destroying the very community that they want to respect them. It's coming together that made the difference. It's bonding. It's empathizing with each other. It's linking together on a level that cannot be broken. We are all one. That is the energy we need to hold for each other, now more than ever. Because when this corona ends, when the dust settles on the anger that's going on right now, how do we want to show up? What do we want the world to look like? Don't think about the action of tonight. Think about the action of a lifetime. How do you want your life to look? How do you want your world to look? Once you come up with that ideal, every action that we take needs to be towards that. If we live knowing that we're connected, then every action we have will support that connection. It'll support everyone around us because we realize when one of us hurts, all of us hurt. So that is my plea for today. Hell, my plea for the generation. Come from a place of love. Through love, we connect. Through hatred, we're divided. The hate and anger only appears strong. It's an illusion. Love is unbeatable. It is the greatest force in the universe. Every action that comes from love is the right action. Even if it doesn't end up the way you want it to, it's still the right thing to do because it came from a place of love. So to all those people who are out there protesting peacefully, standing up for each other, reaching out to their communities, thank you so much for your service, not just to your communities, not just to your friends, but to your country, to humans. Thank you so much for holding that example for the world right now, because it's your spirit, it's your love, it's your actions that we need, and it's your actions that will make a difference.